Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to, for those of you who are in Delhi and north side of India, welcome to a chilly, windy day, and that is why you see a different get-up altogether. Let me pass on a Hindi statement to you. Unmute and call out whether you recognize the statement. Thanda matlab?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yay! Which literally translates to a brand tagline for Coca-Cola, which says, whenever you feel like having something cold, you drink Coca-Cola. Well, this is what verbal branding does to us. Verbal branding shapes a brand's identity through language by crafting memorable taglines, messaging, the way they communicate. And that is how it resonates with all of us, with the audience. It's about the words that inspire action and turn our emotional quotient higher. As Martin Niemöller said, that a brand is not what you say it is, it's what they say it is. We have a whole lot of it in the upcoming sections today. Well, let's stay tuned, all ears, and do active listening in our Toastmasters meeting today. Before I pass on the baton to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Mohit, I would like to call out the mission statement of a Toastmasters meeting. At Toastmasters, we provide a positive and supporting learning environment for members to develop their communication and leadership skills. And while we develop all those skills, what I would also like to call out is the 3 basic ground rules for an online meeting. Rule number 1, when somebody is speaking, avoid interrupting and keep yourselves on mute unless you want to share something. Which brings us to rule number 2. That is, if you want to speak something or share something, please raise your physical hand or use the Zoom emoticon. And rule number 3, smile, turn on your videos, and make the most of the meeting today. With that, I would like to pass on the baton to our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Mohit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepthi. Absolutely. The brands say so much about uh, the world we live in, right? So much things that we can learn from what you just shared. So today I am not alone in this meeting. This is a joint meeting. The more the merrier, as they say. And this is a joint meeting of not one, not two, but 3 Toastmasters clubs. So I would like to invite somebody from New Gurugram Toastmaster Club. The presiding officer of New Gurugram Club is Toastmaster Meenal. Do we have her in the meeting? Meenal, I don't see Meenal. Is she there?
She's not here.
Okay, Prateek is here, right? So Prateek, would you like to join me in opening the meeting as the presiding officer?
Sure, sir. Always a pleasure to do anything with you.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
how do you feel today? Would you like to share something?
Definitely it's energizing. And I was told by VP Education Toastmaster Kalpana that we will be having a joint meeting with Mohit's club. And then one day I saw that the flyer, it had 3 clubs name. So I was pretty excited. I have never been into a 3 club joint meeting. So let's see how it turns up. And I'm pretty excited.
Absolutely. And so am I, Prateek. It's pleasure to have you here, and it's pleasure to do a meeting together with 3 clubs. And talking about 3 clubs, let's also invite somebody from Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. Diptendu is not able to join today, but Swati is here, right? Swati, you are the Vice President Education for the Storytellers Group. Can you come on camera for a bit and share a few words? Where is Swati? Swati, can you still hear me? Okay, Swati seems to be away. But who else? Maybe let's call Mehek. Mehek, would you like to join us on the virtual stage?
Yes, just a second. I'm joining from laptop.
Okay, great. So while we are waiting for Mehek, what I would like to share is that, see, all of us, 25 of us are in this meeting. Why have we joined in today? We could have very well watched a YouTube video, a lot of courses on Udemy and so on. But why join into this group and learn together? Any thoughts about that? Anybody would like to share? There
To
is,
learn.
Hi, Mohit.
yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Mohit. I'm Meenal from New Gurgaon Club. Actually, I'm outside. Then also, I joined the meeting because I was very excited to join the three club meeting, and maybe it will help to connect with new people and learn from them also. So that's why I started this, and maybe if you people join, as I know, I think you both club are online only, and we are the offline club mainly. So please try to come New Gurgaon Club also sometime if you will time. Thank you.
Absolutely, Meenal. We would love to come and join you in person. And every time an opportunity presents, please do join our group in an online
Yeah,
setting as
sure.
well. So
Yes.
coming back to, yeah, the reason why we are, like you said, meeting new people is definitely one of the things which can happen in a group setting. But have you seen a lot of these meditation sessions also happen together in a group? Why not just sit alone in a room, quiet place, and do the meditation alone? Why do it in a group?
The vibration and the energy would be quite different when you do it in a group. And you will tend to focus, the focus itself get enhanced when you're doing it in a group. And you
Ex-
will tend to complete the session. If you're doing it alone, you'll run away in between.
Absolutely. Yeah, you are, as always, brutally honest about things, Needle. That's what we love about you. Exactly. So, the vibe, the thing about doing it in a group so that we will all encourage each other when we become lazy. That is what happens. And more than all of these things, there's some magical effect in learning in a group, meditating in a group. And you would see that not only Toastmasters, but many organizations are successful because they get people together and they do these learnings or meditations or yoga sessions in a group. So there's a power of doing things in a group. And today I can't be more happier because we have so many people from so many different clubs, not only these three clubs, but we have people from other clubs as well joining in, people joining in from different geographies and bringing in their own vibe and their own element. So amazing to have you all. I welcome each and every one of you. And I would like to check if we have any guests today in the meeting, anyone who's new to Toastmasters, so that we can bring you into the virtual stage and get a quick introduction from you.
Yes, I am a guest for today.
Hey, hi, Ashna.
Hi. Finally, I've joined this after trying to join, I think, since the last 3, 4 months. So really glad to be part here today.
Wonderful, Ashna. And would you like to share what brings you here? What are you looking for?
So my main aim is to basically be more confident when it comes to talking in front of the public. I think not much in terms of English or speaking, but more of knowing what to say, when to say, and saying it with conviction, so that people actually um, like are interested to hear you. So that's something I want to work on myself, and this was my New Year resolution. So that's why I'm here in January, and yeah, let's see how it goes.
Wonderful, Ashna. It's great to have you, and it couldn't have been a better occasion to join in because today's session is all about verbal branding. So stay tuned and do let us know how you felt at the end of the meeting. We will really value your feedback once this meeting is over. I
Thank
also
you.
see Arjun's hand up, so let's hear from Arjun. Hi, Arjun. What brings you here today?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm from Toastmaster Club, ETC, Eloquent. So today, just thought of checking here. I have attended this club's meeting, I think a year ago. One meeting I attended, and I wanted to join one of the clubs, but somehow I could not. This year, I joined. 2 weeks back, I joined Eloquent Club, and I was part of the guest group. And today, I got to know that many clubs are meeting. Also, I like the T-Mods topic, so I thought of checking it out.
To add one more thing, I just attended Elegant Toastmasters and he was one of the winner.
Okay, that's great. Welcome, Arjun,
Thank
to
you.
this joint club meeting. Look forward to hearing your feedback as well. Every club has their own vibe, their own element, and a lot of learning comes in when we attend meetings of other clubs. So I hope you enjoy your time here.
Totally. Sure. Thank you.
Do we have any other guests as well who are present with us today? Okay. If not, then looks like we are all ready to jump into today's session with Toastmaster Chintan as the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Chintan is a great friend, a passionate storyteller, a great leader, and he's also into clinical research. Every time he comes on stage, he brings in so much fun, so much learning. And let me pass on the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chintan.
Raise your hand if you have read theme of today's meeting. And can anyone tell in the chat box what does it mean apart from what Toastmaster Dipti has mentioned? Because that's not what we are going to talk about. Just a hint. Any answers? Let me check the chat box. What you speak creates your brand. Absolutely. How to build brand when you speak. That's true. Any other explanation or definition of the word verbal branding? Communication beyond words. Wow, that's a deep one, but true. Anyone else? Yeah, almost all the answers which you have given connecting with the audience are absolutely right. But what makes someone a brand as a speaker? How can I become a brand as a speaker? Any idea? Any example which comes to your mind? Any tips? And I would love to see your lovely faces. As many of you know, that my Toastmaster of the Day sessions are never scripted. So I'll get the oozing energy from you, and based on that, I'll adjust my momentum and the way I conduct the session. And I can see the great aura of Noor Muhammad as Rajnikant. But I would love to see the original Noor Muhammad behind the screen. So, listening to the speaker, using the punchlines. Wow. Kalpana is saying that using the punchlines creates someone as a brand. Anyone else? What comes to your mind when you hear, let's say, Steve Jobs? What kind of words does he use? Let me tell you what I mean by verbal branding, as these definitions might be different to different people, and we all are learning. It's my mission that I want to get the flow state of speaking that I don't need to consciously think and hunt down the words, but rather the words should come on its own to my tongue, on the mouth apparatus, and then I can speak in the rhythm. And that's where, during that hunt, on that crusade, I stumbled upon the word called verbal branding. And this is what I mean by verbal branding. And let me share my screen. Let me know once the screen is visible. I hope the screen is visible now.
Yes.
The verbal branding is the boundaries we set around the words and phrases that we use. It's as simple as that. Steve Jobs will never speak the Julian language. Martin Luther King used to speak always in rhythm. You would have never listened to Martin Luther King in a monotone. And that's the brand as a speaker, who he was. Now, if we want to become someone who's called a brand as a speaker, the first thing we need to do, any guesses based on what we discussed? We need to articulate the words in a way that it creates impact. Agreed? How many of you agreed that we need to articulate the words? Right? But what do you mean by articulate words? Can anyone say the simple way of explaining what an articulation means? Or what kind of words you feel that those are articulate? You can unmute yourself, you can shout out. It's not a typical Teams meeting, it's a Zoom meeting. So you can unmute and say. Yeah, Mohit.
We should be able to get our message across. It should be simple language, but we get the message across.
Yeah. It's a simple language. And again, the question is, what's simple language to you might be different to me. So what in simple word, the word articulate means? And I found a graph which explains the exact same phenomenon. Do you have pen and paper? Can you grab pen and paper, please? Can you make an x-axis a horizontal line? And on horizontal line on left hand side, you put common. Common on the left hand side of the horizontal axis, and right hand side you put uncommon. Now put a vertical line dissecting that horizontal line, make it a plus. On top of it you write precise, and bottom of it you write vague. Now let me check what you have made. Otherwise, whatever I'm going to say would not make sense. And someone will Chintan has. So can anyone show what you have made? Okay, or let me show you what I mean so that it would be easier for everyone to see. I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the common words which are here, the uncommon on the horizontal line on the right hand side, precise on the top, and vague at the bottom. The words which we use and which fall under this box, which are common and which are vague, are the inarticulate zone. Those are the words we generally use when someone asks us, how is your day? Or how was your day? And our answer most of the time would be good. How was the lunch? Good. How's the relationship? Good. How's the rain? Good. How's the cold? Good. And our natural tendency to speak those words by default are because of the lexicon which we have, the surface lexicon. And the lexicon is nothing but collection of words which we use. And there are 500 words which we always default to. If you see the lexicon as a box or a cylinder, then on top of it, there are 500 words. Those we always go to. When someone asks, how are you? We say, good. When someone say, how's the day? Great. The maximum we can say is great. But beneath that surface, there are around 2500. Beneath that surface, there are 2500 to 15,000 words which are there but we never use. Have you come across a speaker who gave a scintillating speech? You can recognize the speaker, but you have never used those words in your life. Or you might not be going to use those words. We know how to say our food in our own vernacular language. That we say it's spicy, flavorful, whether the fruit was ripe, juicy, or not. But when we translate it into English, our surface lexicon prohibits us and make it only speak good. The first thing which I learned in my hunt to become a verbal brand as a speaker is not to limit ourselves and expand the surface of the surface lexicon. We no longer want to use the words which we try to go default to. And you know why we go to those words for always default mode? Because it's like a mental anesthesia. We don't want to put pressure on our brain, and we don't want to consciously think about the words which we are going to speak. We just spit out the words which come to our mind, or sometimes don't come to our mind, and we speak from the larynx. We need to go deep down to our thought and then bring out the best articulate word. We had seen the section or the block which is we call the inarticulate block. But if you see the same diagram, and just see here as visible on the screen, that the word pressure, not very uncommon, but just less common towards the uncommon part. Those who are precise are the relevant words. And the words which are relevant, which are absolutely precise, and which are not so common, which we always tend to speak, will make our verbal brand. Just to give you an example of a verbal brand, this is the graph which I got of Steve Jobs' verbal brand. And as you can see, the words like impact, empower, pioneer, storytelling, intersection, connecting the dots, journey, human experience, artistic. He used to use the word remarkable n number of times. And if we see the words of another great speaker like Muhammad Ali, who say glory, world, wings, power, risk, belief, connect you. Now think of the verbal brand, this circle of your verbal brand, and imagine it compared to what Steve Jobs used to have, compared to what Martin Luther King used to have, and compared to what you are having. Because the words we get to learn each and every day try to go in the depth of our lexicon. But if we don't use it, then they don't come on the surface of the lexicon. In Toastmasters meeting, we use the word of the day once or twice, but they never get logged in to the surface beneath our surface lexicon. And that's the reason that we cannot come up with the precise words and which are not so common. Because remember, any speaker who speaks great words or has great articulation don't use the flamboyant words. They use the words in a way that sounds pleasant and persuasive. And this is the way to be persuasive, powerful, poised as a speaker. That you should have a surgical precision while choosing the word. And those words should not be common but should be tilted towards the uncommon box. And when you have that, you are going to be recognized as someone who has a verbal brand. Remember, we all have a colleague, a friend, or someone when we were in a school, a teacher maybe, who used to have signature words or signature lines, and they used to be known by them. Now imagine yourself what signature words you are using. Or are you not using signature words or lines at all? We'll be discussing few of the ways those helped me become a better articulator as I'm on my journey. And we will be discussing if you have something in so that I also can learn. But meanwhile, let's start the meeting of Toastmasters. Toastmasters meeting is generally divided into three parts: a prepared speech section, a table topic section, and an evaluation section. A prepared speech section where a Toastmasters come prepared from the pathway offered by Toastmasters and deliver a speech. A table topic section where everyone, including the guest, will get a chance to come on the stage and share their thoughts and speak their mind on their feet. And the third, in my opinion, the most important section is the general evaluation section, where we will be getting the feedback of what went well and what we could do better in the coming meetings. And today, leading the general evaluation role, we have none other than Toastmaster Mehak. Toastmaster Mehak is a wonderful friend and a fellow Toastmaster who is an expert in branding, an expert who makes the posters which are scintillating. She is a wonderful human being, a great storyteller, a student, but she has achieved a lot more in the arena of Toastmasters. Let's welcome on the stage and hear from Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chintan, for those kind words. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and your guests. Today, I have the privilege of stepping into this role of general evaluator. And I know that just like brands that are defined by their words and how they communicate, our meeting today is all about verbal branding, how we express ourselves, how we connect ourselves, and how we leave a lasting impression through the power of language. However, today I'm not doing this role solo. I have a strong team behind me that would support me in my role today. Together, we will ensure that the meeting flows smoothly and everyone shines brightly in their role today. So, I have my tag team. First, I would like to introduce Toastmaster Raza, who is going to play the role of timer, who is not only going to time but this will ensure that we present our message timely on stage, and please introduce your role as the timer.
Hey everyone, can you hear me fine? Am I audible, guys? Let me just check that.
Yeah, you are
All
audible.
right. Hi everyone, my name is Raza. I'll be doing the timer role today. So I'll take a minute to explain the role and how I will be doing the timer role. So every speech, every topic has their own time frame. So for all the table topic, we have 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll be sharing my screen with the color coding. So you'll see until 1 minute you'll see a gray screen, and then you'll see at 1 minute you'll see a green screen, and after 1 minute 30 seconds you'll see a red screen. And so you'll be seeing the screen on the you'll be seeing the different color on the screen based on the time. So for evaluation we'll have a 2 to 3 minute, where till 2 minute it will be a green light, and after 2 minute it will be a yellow light, and after 3 minute it will be a red light. And for the prepared speech it will be 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes it will be a green light, and then you'll have at 6 minutes you'll see a yellow light, and at the 7 minute you'll see a red light. So, I'll be sharing my screen, or I'll just share my screen here and show you the timing there. Back to you, G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raza. Do you want to test sharing your screen so that I can give you the rights as well? Just a second.
Yeah, I am not able to.
Just a minute. I think I left the meeting in between due to some network issues, so I'm not the host. Toastmaster Mohit, can you please
Yeah,
share
I am the host. Let me check. Timer is. Yeah. So, Mehak, I need to give him the co-host, right? Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Raza, can you try? I made you the co-host.
Yep, I think I'm able to share my screen now. Yeah, I'm able to share my screen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Raza, for introducing your role as the timer. Next, we have Toastmaster Neetal, who is going to play the role of an hour counter for today in the meeting. Toastmaster Neetal, can we have you on stage?
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. So, good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and the people who are in love with the verbal brand. So, the words which we tend to use as and their distant cousins, like so, or any repetitive words or awkward pauses. So think of me as your detective for the filler words, and I'll be quietly noting down the words and I'll be presenting the report at the end of the meeting. So let's take a deep breath, pause when necessary, and have a clean and confident delivery of the speech or the table topics or the evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neetal, for sharing you so well. Next, we have our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Swati. Would like to introduce her.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. Good afternoon, everyone. Toastmaster Chintan has wonderfully thrown light on the importance of using. Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible to us, but I think there was an issue with Toastmaster Mehak's audio.
Right. Okay, so Toastmaster Chintan has very wonderfully thrown light on the importance of using words impactfully. And I would also like to begin with words by J.K. Rowling, who said that words are our most inexhaustible source of magic. And we all agree because words do have the power to create a lasting impression. And today, as grammarian for the day, I'll make sure that we all can use this magic effectively. So as part of this, I'll carefully pay attention to the usage of language during the whole meeting. I'll note down the good usage of words, phrases, idioms, vocabulary, and also some areas for improvement for all of us. And I'll present my detailed report towards the end in the third segment of the meeting, that is the evaluation part. Also, I'm going to introduce the word of the day and the phrase of the day so we can expand on our vocabulary. The word is ebullient, which means full of energy and cheerful. For example, he approached the competition with an ebullient attitude. And the noun for the same would be ebullience. For example, the meeting room is filled with ebullience. And the phrase of the day would be turn over a new leaf, which means to change for better or to start fresh. For example, at the start of the year, she decided to turn over a new leaf and commit to a healthier lifestyle. And all the speakers are encouraged to use the word and the phrase as much as possible so they become a part of our everyday language. I'll keep a count of the number of times they are used and make it a part of my report. So that's all from my side. Back to you, Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Swati, for sharing the word of the day as well as the phrase of the day. Thank you so much, everyone. This is my CAC team, and as a general evaluator, I will meet you towards the end of the session where I will share my overall report for the meeting as a whole. With this, I would just want you all to remember one thing: be mindful about the time, which is very crucial. Incorporate the work of the day as much as possible, and keep a check on your R's and M's. With this, I would pass on the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Chintan. Thank you.
Am I audible? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meg, for introducing your role and your team members. As we discussed, that verbal branding is not just about words. It's the way you show up in the conversations. It's the way how your ideas are packaged, how your intelligence is compressed and expressed in words, and ultimately how much impact you have through the words. And to do that, we need to do few things, starting with, as shown here, that we need to have a verbal agreement with ourselves. A verbal agreement is something like, I'm not going to use these words from today. These are three lines in the green, which were one of the most repeated lines by Steve Jobs, and these were the lines which make impact. Now, if you see the red ones, we tend to use those. At least I tend to use those. That getting super popular. Rather, Steve Jobs used to say that on the ascendancy. A certain way of thinking, he used to say the school of thought. A big challenge, he used to say a thorny problem. Now, see the pattern here. The words he used either have a metaphor or the visual evocation of the emotion that elicit the emotion. When you say something and relate it to something which is not at all related but make a connection, like if we say a laptop and say it's a weapon, now it's a metaphor. But when you say it that it's a weapon can mass destruct the whole earth and can wipe out the universe, now it's a language that evokes the emotion and that elicits the response from the audience members. Now use the words which are precise, as I told, the operators or the speakers who are having the surgical precision with their words have the power to pick the words which are precise and not so common. So first thing, make a commitment, a verbal agreement to yourself that you are not going to commit to the words which you always go default to, and you will be speaking the words which are not so common. Dig deep down to the lexicon and see what are the words you can scavenge and you can search through and bring them on the surface and then speak with the rhythm. With that note, let's start the first section of today's meeting, that is a prepared speech. And our first speaker is Toastmaster Kalpana. Before I call on the stage Toastmaster Kalpana, let me welcome on the stage her evaluator of the day. Toastmaster's Kalpana's speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Megha. Do we have Toastmaster Megha in the meeting room?
Yes.
Toastmaster Megha is also an IT professional. She is also a business consultant. She has recently joined Toastmasters again after a break, but she is going with great strides and she has the momentum on her side, that she is learning each role as the meeting goes. Last time we had seen her as a storyteller, and today she is going to be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Kalpana. So the stage is yours, Toastmaster Megha. Introduce your role and the speech objective of Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chintan, for this wonderful and your kind words. Toastmaster Kalpana is on her level 4, project 1, that is improvement through positive coaching. Her title is Great Expectations. The duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose statement of her project is for the member to develop and apply skills for coaching a fellow member or person outside of Toastmasters who can benefit for her expertise. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of her experience in the coaching. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Chintan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mega. Toastmaster, just want to reconfirm the title. Is it Greater Expectations, right?
Great Expectations.
Toastmaster Kalpana, Great Expectations. Great Expectations, Toastmaster Kalpana.
I hope I'm visible and audible.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And a very good evening to all. I hope you all are doing great. What a fantastic month the start of the year in January has been. From us celebrating the Hindu pilgrimage of Mahakumbh to witnessing the ceasefire in Gaza after 15 months of war, to now the much talked about oath taking of none other than Donald Trump. And today, here we are on the eve of celebrating the 76th Republic Day, a day where we celebrate the value of our democracy. One of the things that the Constitution gives to us is the freedom of speech. And I'm going to talk about that in a while. Before that, since I'm here to talk about my many coaching
Just
program
a
or
minute,
mentoring program
Toastmaster Kalpana. I
inside of
think my
Toastmasters
screen.
outside, could you please raise your hands or maybe just speak here?